Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. I am your bewildered host, Klay-Kremling. Now, why am I so bewildered? Well, if you saw my last update, you would know that Moorhuhn won the Klay-Kremling vote. Which I guess means a lot of you guys really want to see me go back to my roots and review another Moorhuhn game. The very first game franchise I reviewed. And hey, I was on board. I thought I could probably find another Moorhuhn game, play it, and let you know if it's good or not. But oh no, the powers that be had other plans. Now, after recording my last update, I noticed the most peculiar parcel lying on my desk like a baby. And without hesitation, I began to open it. It could be anything. But then I noticed German text on it. It was at this moment I knew it could only be one thing. A game from a certain crazy chicken. And that chicken is Moorhuhn. Actually, it's been brought to my attention that I've been pronouncing his name wrong. The correct pronunciation for his name is Moorhuhn. Seeing as this is a German video game character we're talking about, I suppose that's the correct way to pronounce his name. But frankly, I don't give a shit. I've been calling him Moorhuhn for 2 years now, and goddamn I'm gonna keep calling him that. Yeah, Moorhuhn. That's how real men say his name. Anyway, so I open it up, and it's some game called Moorhuhn Total. Okay, that seems fine. Wait a minute. 7 games? 7 games? You're telling me they put 7 of his games onto one disc? That's obscene! I'll bet the whole reason this was even made and printed was because I haven't reviewed any games for nearly a year. Looks like it's finally come back to bite me in the tail. And not only that, but I still need to review the Moorhuhn remake that I bought earlier this July. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to have ourselves a Moorhuhn marathon. Well, as if reviewing such classics like Crazy Chicken Tales and Moorhuhn Jewel of Darkness wasn't enough, it looks like I now have to review 8 shitty games in a row. Wait a minute, what games are even on this anyway? Hold the phone. Die Original Moorhuhn? Moorhuhn 2? Moorhuhn 3? The Winter Edition? Huh. So not only does this have some accompanying games, but it has the original Moorhuhn trilogy. All the initial classics. Huh. Maybe this won't be so bad after all. What am I saying? That's what he wants me to think. Oh, Moorhuhn, wherever you fly, I will play your game and give you my most brutal critique. Ladies and gentlemen, let the Moorhuhn Marathon begin!
Here's a real high-class bout. It's on!
We're gonna start the marathon with Die Original Moorhuhn. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the game only heard in legend. Were Moorhuhn's humble beginnings really all that they're cracked up to be? Let's find out. Well then, talk about a beat. To commemorate this historical moment in Klay-Kremling history, I shall call myself Jurgen. Like that football player from Early Man. I don't think he was even German. But whatever. Let us begin. This is amazing. I, the one and only Klay-Kremling, am playing the original Moorhuhn on my very computer. From this point forward, these days will be the greatest years of my life. Now, once the initial wow factor has gone, what exactly are you doing in this game? Well, it's really quite self-explanatory. Take out as many Moorhuhns as you possibly can. The closer the Moorhuhns are, the less points they're worth. But shooting the Moorhuhns themselves isn't exactly as easy as it looks. You see that small square at the center of the crosshairs? Yeah, that one. Well, you need to hit them right there, and if you don't, the shot won't land. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, but not bad. Other than that, there's really not much more to talk about. Oh, except don't shoot down the plane with their studio name. Yeah, you're gonna lose points for that. And goddamn, they paid a lot of money to promote their studio in their own game. So yeah, kick back, relax, and enjoy shooting Moorhuhns at the fields of Germany. There's even a nice little castle in the background. I like that. That's cool. Oh, but don't be fooled by the music I was playing. You wanna know what the music in this game sounds like? Well, listen. The sound of the great outdoors. Now, despite all the good going around, there are a few annoying things. First of all, you're not able to pause the fucking game, which is stupid. You'd think that you'd be able to hit escape and pause the game briefly, but no, if you hit escape, it brings you back to the main menu. Also, another thing that's kind of disappointing is that there's only one game mode. As soon as you're done typing your name, you're taken straight to the shooting range. Couldn't they at least have had an easy, medium, and hard mode, just to give a bit of variety? Oh well. Other than that, Moorhuhn the Original is a fun desktop game, and I definitely could have seen myself playing it back in the day. Huh, well, we're off to a good start. But hey, we still have 7 more games to go, so let's get a move on. Next runner-up, Moorhuhn 2.
This match will get red hot. Now go!
Oh yeah, we're in for it now, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, what's that? Is that an owl? Why is there a realistic-looking owl at the Moorhuhn 2 title screen? Is he even in the game? I guess I'll click on it to start. Well, it worked. Anyway, the graphics are a decent upgrade, and there's more animation to the characters. Yep. The environment looks just as nice as in the first Moorhuhn, though instead of taking place in the fields, we're in a swamp. I don't know if this is just me, but this kind of looks like Shrek Swamp. Look at this, it totally looks like Shrek Swamp. You don't see it? Oh well. Now, other than the slight graphical upgrade, there are some legitimate Easter eggs, ways to get extra points, and skill tactics you can use to boost your game, such as performing combos and getting extra points for it, shooting this spider 3 times, though the second time doesn't give you points for some fucking reason, shooting this Moorhuhn hanging out in a tower, shooting the little frog, and even shooting the head off of the scarecrow. Well, that's pretty cool. But look out, because once you take off all of his body parts, more Huns galore! Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is a pretty damn fun sequel, and I actually found myself enjoying it more than the first one. It was even ported to the Game Boy Color. But the real way to play it is here on the PC. A sequel that surpasses the original. Now that is cool. Well then, onwards and upwards, we have a lot of games to go.
A brawl is surely brewing. You're up!
This game doesn't exactly run as smoothly as the first two Moorhuhns. Not terrible, but it's kind of noticeable. As for the game itself, it certainly has a different aesthetic from the first two Moorhuhn games, taking place at a beach or something. There's also much more critters running around. Where the heck are the Moorhuhns? I want to shoot something. A rabbit? Okay. Take this. Man, this game's weird. After you play for a while, eventually chickens will start showing up. But there's something different about them. Something familiar. Where have I seen this chicken before? Well, wherever he's from, he's dead. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Let's see that again. They take away points? A subspecies of Moorhuhns that take away points. They give you less points. Do you know what this means? This isn't Moorhuhn. This is Less Hun, an imposter of Moorhuhn. Remember him from Moorhuhn Kart 2? This is where he got his debut role. So yeah, you can take down all the Moorhuhns you want, but leave those Less Huns alone. They ain't worth shit. Perhaps this isn't the most significant discovery, but at least you guys can get the slightest idea of why I play Moorhuhn. What? You guys thought I played Moorhuhn for the mindless action? Hell no. I play Moorhuhn for the plot and the lore. Look, Moorfrosh also makes an appearance. And let me just say, he's a pure troll directly from the programmers. You can also shoot these seed things floating in the air, but I wouldn't recommend it. Sometimes they'll give you a good power-up, and other times they'll punish you. Like, look at this. I shot one of them, and now whenever I put my cursor at the end of the screen, it goes in the opposite direction. What kind of black magic is that? In the end, I don't really have much more to say. It's just Moorhuhn 3. It didn't hold my attention as long as the previous two, but it is the third one, and it is what it is. And it does still have the charm of the previous titles. Now, here's when things start to get a bit weird. We've talked about the original Moorhuhn trilogy, but what could possibly come next? Well, the answer may just surprise you. Now, before I get on with the rest of our games, I'm just gonna quickly talk about Moorhuhn the Winter Edition and Moorhuhn Kart, because frankly, there's really not much to say about them. Moorhuhn the Winter Edition is merely a winter edition, as the title would imply, of Moorhuhn 2. Yet somehow, they managed to take the original formula for Moorhuhn 2 and make it worse. Imagine playing Moorhuhn 2, but without nearly all of the fun Easter eggs and skill tactics that game hosts. Plus, as you can see, the game doesn't run as well either. As for everything else that's going on, well, just look at it. This is a good game to play if you want to fall asleep. As for Moorhuhn Kart, the elusive predecessor to the critically acclaimed Moorhuhn Kart 2, I didn't even get to play this because the game wouldn't start. Well, kind of. None of the menu buttons were working, and I tried hitting every button on the keyboard, and nothing would work. Probably compatibility issues. Left with no other options, I had no choice but to simply Weiteri Funktionen mit Escape. Hit escape. Is that an M or an H? Which is just fancy talk for move on to the next game. Most of you may be thinking that things have taken a strange turn, and you would be right to say that. But let me tell you, everything we just talked about seems trivial in comparison to what's coming next. Let us begin.
A great slam and then some. Here goes.
Let's cut the bullshit. Why does this game exist? Now, despite how stupid of an idea this game sounds like on paper, I have to admit, I was really curious to see how this would be. And oh my god, look at what we have here. Holy shit! So I guess what's going on is Moorhuhn and a bunch of his comrades decided to get together one fine summer day and have themselves a jolly good game of tennis. If you look past the Jumbotron thingy, you can see that they reused the background from Moorhuhn 2. So I suppose when they're not getting their heads blown off, this is what they do in their spare time. But my question is, how the hell do they even play tennis? Look, he's not even holding the racket. This game's very unrealistic. So you press the space bar to serve, and from there you keep moving left and right and volleying the ball. The only real skill here is trying to hit the ball as centered as possible, because the more you hit it to your left or right, the more you risk hitting it out of the court. Oh, what the hell? How did he not hit that? That was totally in the court. The game just cheated me. Now, getting a good volley going isn't exactly hard, but the more you hit the ball, the faster it goes. So eventually it's gonna go so fast that messing up is an inevitability. I actually think that the game just breaks at some point and registers a miss, even though you probably hit the ball anyway. The game literally can't keep up with itself. And the sound of the audience cheering is one of the most dreadful noises in video game history. What the hell even was that? This game's horrible. Why did they make this? I gotta stop. It's just not worth it. I can't believe I'm throwing this big of a tantrum over a game called
Motherfucking Hun Tennis.
Ugh. Alright, we have 2 more games to go. We're almost done. Let's get this over with. Now, our second to last game is Hun X, as it says on the box. I wonder what Hun X is supposed to mean. What is this, some kind of a sex game? Well, that sounds right up my alley. Let's play the game. Well, I can tell you one thing, the audio quality is pretty scary.
Well, listen to me. I love to see the sunshine in the sky. I hope that you come out to run and fly. We're happy together, we're happy forever. Let's have some fun. Boom, baby, boom.
Oh my god. Is that the best title screen music you've ever heard in your life? Words cannot explain how floored I was when I first heard this. Whose idea was it to use this song as the title screen music? And who's singing? God, this song is giving me a tingling feeling all up and down my gutty wuts. This is by far one of the best moments I've ever experienced in my life. Oh, I forgot. We actually have a game to review. Oh, come on, can't we just listen to the song all day? No? Fine. So I guess what the story here is, one faithful day, Moorhuhn and his friends got drunk and are now running amok on some farm. Man, this is a pretty bad infestation. They're using your freaking outhouse, for God's sakes. Out of all the Moorhuhn games, this is probably the most trollish. There's this one particular Moorhuhn who's hiding in a broken oven, and no matter how many times you shoot him, he always retreats in time. There's also this one with lightning-fast reflexes. And there's also this one who's trying to piss off a hive of bees. Well, aside from the new visuals, it's Moorhuhn, same as always. Though I have to say, I'm not that big a fan of the new visuals. They're not bad. I just personally prefer the humble look of the original Moorhuhn games. One thing that's pretty disappointing though, once again, there is only one game mode. At least as far as I can tell. Oh well, guess they're sticking strong to the old Moorhuhn formula. Ugh, sweet Jesus. One more game to go. Finally. Now let me remind you guys that this game I did not get on the Moorhuhn Total Disc. I got this on Steam. So was my investment in the Moorhuhn franchise in vain? Well, let's find out. Oh, let me guess. It's the same game. Ugh. Well, at least the menus are different, so I guess I get... Okay. Alright. So, as for the game, it's pretty much the same thing as Hun X, but with minor differences. Just like Hun X, the chickens disappear almost instantly after you shoot them, and it looks like shit. But in this game, the screen is bigger for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Hey, check that out. A Moorhuhn on a kite. Let's take him out. What? Why is the screen moving like this? You're telling me that in order to move the screen, you have to click and drag the mouse? I don't get this. Were the old controls not good enough? Who thought that this would be more efficient? And since you're constantly clicking and dragging the mouse to shoot at moving targets, this control scheme can only work against you. And I checked the options menu. There's no way to fix this. How did they fuck up the controls this bad? Ugh, looks like I'm just about ready to write this one off, huh? This game shouldn't even exist. They should have just directly ported Hun X onto... Wait, what's that over there? Ugh, I can't see, it's too small. I just can't make it out. Like, why would there just be two... Oh my god. There are two sheep having sex behind the outhouse. There are two sheep having sex in a Moorhuhn game. That is funny. At first, I didn't even know what was going on. I thought they were fighting or something, but then I saw the position they were in. And not only that, but there's a heart levitating above them to solidify the moment, to let it be known. What is this? Moorhuhn or Conker's Bad Fur Day? Oh my, it's really quite a beautiful image. I just want to be able to see it better. Oh no. I just cock-blocked the poor sheep. Get it? Cock-block? It's a Moorhuhn game? Yeah, I'm sorry, I was really fucking awful. Congratulations, new high score. Yeah, congratulations indeed. I've wasted hours of my precious life talking about 8 Moorhuhn games in a row.
Well, listen to me.
Well, that was an adventure if I've ever had one. I just reviewed 8 Moorhuhn games in a row. What am I doing with my life? So, how many of these games do I consider worthy of the Klay-Kremling Horde? Well, let's find out. Hey, Crimp! It's feeding time. Moorhuhn 1, 2, and 3 definitely get a pass. Moorhuhn Kart and Winter Edition don't get a pass. Moorhuhn X is far from my favorite, but regardless, it is a competent Moorhuhn game, so that I'll give a pass as well. And Hun Tennis and the remake don't get a pass. These games were made by Satan himself. Eat up, Crimp. As for these games, they will always have a place in the Klay-Kremling Horde. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I know it's been a while, but I'll try to get back into making episodes again. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, here's a teaser for the next game I'll be reviewing. This is Klay-Kremling, signing off.